On to Venezuela, the opposition there calling a two-day national strike against President Maduro after yet another day of violent clashes over the weekend. Joining us now is Hipp, chairman of the American Defense International. Van, thanks for joining us. Every day, or certainly every week, we see the disintegration of Venezuela. I'm surprised it hasn't literally collapsed into more full-out civil war. What can be done about this situation? Can we just sit by and watch this?
No, we can't. It's a humanitarian crisis, and President Trump, I tell you, actually, if you've got President Donald Trump and the Pope and the European Union all in agreement about Venezuela, you know something significant is taking place. And like you said in the prelude, it is the failure of socialism. The people have risen up there. They rose up back in 2015 when they took over their parliament. Everything we're seeing taking place right now is a sham for this guy, Maduro, to remain in power, to keep his Supreme Court, which is a joke, to keep it in power. The people have risen up. 98% of the people there voted in a referendum last weekend that they don't want the Constitution to change. And that's what this is about. The people want their Constitution. They want their parliament. They want their country back.
So what's the tipping point, Van? At what point is the military the key here? If the military turns on the president, is that the key that needs to get this thing resolved and get Maduro out? President
Trump has said if they go forward with this sham of a constituent assembly, the U.S. will act swiftly in terms of economic sanctions. Here's what I think. They have to be very careful how they do that so they don't hurt the people who are starving right now, who don't have medical supplies. I think it's got to be carefully tailored to the oil industry and Maduro's friends, and I think we're going to have something like a Berlin airlift in terms of medical supplies, food, from humanitarian assistance.
Yeah, to your point, Ashley, and that's a great point what the guest just made. Senator Marco Rubio says if you go after the oil sector, PDVSA, that will hit Maduro's friends. But then the question is, that's the revenue for the entire country. So the Berlin airlift idea, I mean, this is so tricky. How do you go after Maduro and not hurt the rest of the population? Marco Rubio says you can by going after PDVSA. That would be a direct hit to Maduro.
And this is not exactly the other side of the world. I don't know if it's exactly in our own backyard, but it's close enough, Van.
It's our hemisphere. And I tell you what I would hope President Trump would do. Normally, you would go to your State Department, your Secretary of State, and get the best advice. The best person in his administration to go to right now is his Secretary of Homeland Security, John Kelly. And let me tell you why. In the military, we have what are called combatant commands. These are the commands responsible for different regions of the world if something bad happens. Here it is Southern Command, headquartered in Miami, Florida. They are responsible for Central America, South America. The guy who headed it up for 4 years, who understands what's going on there, knows the intel on the ground, who we can trust and who we can't trust, is John Kelly, our Homeland Security, former Southern Command commander. That's who the president needs to be talking to right now. He is the best person in this administration, I think, to come up with the right kind of plan how to handle Venezuela.
Well, we continue to follow it every day. You got a feeling that there's got to become a tipping point, and that point seems to be coming pretty soon. Van, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it with your expertise.